Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa, as well as viewers across the globe. It is The Conversation on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. And here in the FCT, it's a beautiful morning, Wednesday morning on the 7th of July, 2021. And my name is Sagir Ibrahim.
Of course, my name is Ade Suwelsi. It's good to be back on the show. It's good to see you, Sagir. Good morning.
First of all, good morning, Ade.
I can see you have personal beef.
You're a runaway co-host now, of course. I mean, like Monday and Tuesday.
I mean, I'm back here. You should be feeling good to see me right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Welcome back, Adesua.
Thank you so much.
I hope you had a good rest.
Yes, I did. Did you miss me on the show, though?
I hope you had a good rest.
Okay. Yes,
Coming up next is the quote of the day, after which we bring you developments across Africa.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust to provide effective relief and is gentle on the stomach. Try Panadol Caplets for relief from headaches, body aches, and fever. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet gently breaks down in the stomach, quickly absorbs, and starts providing pain relief in 15 minutes. For fast and effective pain relief that you can trust, try Panadol Caplets. This has been Medifact for Panadol.
In the development scenes, we go to North Africa, where the Prime Minister of Tunisia, Hichem Mechichi, on Monday afternoon resumed duties at the Casbah after quarantining for 10 days in the wake of his coronavirus infection on the 25th of June. According to the Tunisian Prime Ministry, PM Mechichi has tested negative for the COVID-19, which allows him to resume his official duties at the office.
All right, coming back to here in Nigeria, where the National Pension Commission, that's PENCOM, has said it has created an online application to help capture the details of retirees for accuracy and timeliness of documentation. The announcement was made by Anyim Nyerere, PENCOM's technical commission, on Monday after the opening ceremony of a workshop for pension desk officers of ministries, agencies and departments.
Away from pension and Nigeria, we move over to Ghana, where the Ghana Health Service on Monday confirmed that at least 136 students in a high school in the country tested positive to the COVID-19 Delta variant, which was first detected in India. According to the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Patrick Kumar Abuagye, the latest COVID-19 update in the country shows that out of 550 samples taken among students in Achimota School, 136 came out positive.
That's quite a number.
It's quite a number, as a matter of fact. And we see the Delta variant coming closer and closer to Nigeria. So what the country does at this stage to ensure that the spread of this virus doesn't get into Nigeria and doesn't spike the number of infectious cases we have is very, very important.
Yeah.
We are at a crucial point where the nation has, or the Nigerian government and the nation as a whole has to do and take decisions that are decisive to ensure this doesn't spread. And that is why it is important to tell our viewers and Nigerians, as well as Africans and viewers across the globe, it is very, very important that you continue to maintain social distancing, practice hand hygiene, and practice all of the protocols to ensure that the virus doesn't spread.
Yes.
That's it for the developments across Africa segments on the conversation this morning. Up next is COVID-19 updates across Africa, after which the newspaper segment follows.
North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa.
All right, we move straight into, front pages of Nigerian dailies this morning, starting with This Day newspaper. And the headline on the very top, that's the very first headline there, says, Buhari won't delay assent to PIB, says Oshibajo. Barkindo Kyari, one calls for all sector defunding dangerous. That's on page 10. Underneath that, Agric Minister's farm produce mop up falls inflation, and that's on page 8. Underneath, This Day, presidency hails arrest of Kanu Igboho's residence raid, and that's also on page 10. The banner headline on This Day newspaper this morning says, Southern presidency gathers momentum as autumn middle belt endorse demand. 3 riders under that headline. Lawmakers from South backs governors. ACF says, we can't dictate to parties. Northern elders rebuff zoning. That story is also continued on page 10 of This Day newspaper. And then just underneath the pictures of the day, villagers flee as bandits kill 21 in Katsina State, and that story is on page 5 of This Day newspaper.
Okay, we'll go to the Vanguard newspaper of this morning, and we start from the very top, where we see investment in Nigeria's petroleum sector down 30%, says NNPC. And underneath that, we see electoral law PIB. Northern group battles southern governors. Underneath the banner headline there, we see Southern reps backs governors on power shift. PIB e-transmission of polls results others. Ex-ACF scribe fought Southern governors. You can't stand P North to get presidency, says the CNG. Pandef backs governors on September 1 timeline on open grazing ban. Only authentic Electoral Act amendment report will be passed, and that's according to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila. National Assembly wants to endorse rigging in Nigeria, and that's by the NBF. We need a truly independent INEC, and that's by Ohaneze Indigbo. As well as Southwest governors, senators, reps insist on 5% equity for host communities. For the last rider there, Senate constitutes 7-member conference committee. Underneath the banner headline there, we see Buhari's relationship with governors cordial, says APC think tank. Underneath we have a rider there as well, as party extends membership drive in Kwara, Imo, Ogun and Rivers. Underneath that as well, we see 900 million naira fraud. Court remands ex-JAM boss Ojerinde in prison custody. Just underneath the picture of the day there, we see government won't condone using freedom of expression to sabotage Nigeria's unity, and that's according to the presidency. We see also reps bill threatens 5-year jail term for unlawful protester. That could be found on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper of this morning. Underneath that as well, we'll see we've spoken with some abducted students, says proprietor Bethel High School, Kaduna. That could also be found on the page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. And finally, for the Vanguard newspaper this morning, Senate blows hot over unlawful arrest of Nigerians by Benin Republic. So you could get this as well as other stories on the Vanguard newspaper by getting a copy and keeping updated.
All right, away from the Vanguard newspaper to the Guardian newspaper, starting from the very first headline there. You've lost grip on leadership, seek foreign help, Khan tells Buhari. Beside that, Rep seeks recovery of 43 billion naira, invites EFCC over financial disparity with AMCON. Court remands JAM ex-registrar in prison over alleged 5.2 billion naira fraud. Senate sets aside constitutional point of order for donkey business bill. Those stories are on page 3 and page 4 of the Guardian newspaper, respectively. And then underneath that one, Northern elders groups reject Southern governor's position on power shift. quite a number of riders underneath that headline. The first one says, "Is gang up against North? Orcham throws weight behind Lagos declaration. Buhari disturbed by Southern governors' resolution. Northern governors need to embrace decision, says PDP scribe. Northeast governors meet in Taraba over insecurity and economy. Group says it's turn of North Central to produce president." You can read up that story on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. And then to the banner headline on the newspaper this morning, "Despite crash, crypto surge threatens financial system." 4 riders underneath that headline. Nigerians stake $398.5 million on 2 exchanges in 1 year. Transactions increased by 50% since CBN restriction. Deep throwing more people into financial crisis. Deposit mobilization threatened as stable coins gain popularity. And to the last headline on the Guardian newspaper this morning, gunmen kill 21 person, rustle animals in Katsina State. And you can read up on that story on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper.
We move to the last newspaper on the conversation newspaper segment this morning. We start from the very top of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. Alleged 900 million fraud. Ex-JAMB registrar Ujirinde arraigned, remanded in custody. Besides that, we see Nigeria has 42 billion tons of bitumen deposits, and that's according to the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. DPR shuts 103 filling stations, 13 gas plants in Lagos. I'll move to the gaping headline there. PIB, Northeast governors demand 30% profit share from exploration. And, you know, we have a rider there as Northern elders knock Southern governors. Underneath that, we see 2021 LCCI predicts improved economic growth performance in Q2, Q3, and that can be found on page 13 of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. Underneath that as well, we see youth empowerment key to national development, and that's according to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. Under that as well, reps approve bill to create state police security outfit, and that story could be found on page 12 of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. I will move over to the picture of the day. We see underneath it, off-grid power, efficient public service delivery will improve ease of doing business, and that's according to the president. DMO offers FG bonds for subscription at 1,000 naira per unit. And we go to the last headline of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. NNPC commits to ensuring Nigeria's sufficiency wealth creation for Nigerians. We will simply grab a copy of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper of this morning to keep updated on other stories.
Yes, that's it for all of the stories making the front page of the Nigerian Dailies this morning. You can grab yourself a copy of any or all of these papers, you know, to be fully abreast with everything that's happening in the country. Or you can simply just check out our website, www.TOS TVNetwork.com, to read up on all of the stories. Okay, so we're going to go on a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be coming back with the big story.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. If the farm say it's happy, you want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Always remember,
this man I have creative design. We really like it, but
you deserve a break. You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge.
Now available in the 450 grams pouch.
This is still the conversation on TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. And like I always say, you could be part of the conversation by connecting with us on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as watch us live on our website at www.TOSTVNetwork.com. You could also watch some of our content via our YouTube page at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It is the big story segment of the conversation this morning, and today's focus is going to be on the open grazing ban. Southern governors dare the federal government. Joining us in the studio via Zoom this morning is none other than Comrade Waheed Saka, and he is a public affairs analyst. He is going to be joining us to discuss these issues as well as some other issues. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio, Comrade Waheed.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining in. So I would want to ask, first of all, can you walk us through what led to the decision of the Southern governors, on the anti-open grazing bill?
A decision of the press to use the language they choose.
Okay.
But the truth is, what led the Southern governor to put their feet down is the decision of the people. The people that voted them in as governor choose a path, and they must follow such path. Let me put it to the federal government. Where is the land of the federal government except that perimeter of Aso Rock? You cannot decide on what is not yours. And the people, the Southern people, say they don't want open grazing on their land again. And the federal government cannot compel them to have such a grazing reserve in their area. Let me put it to them. The issue of the Southern governor as long overdue because they have kept silent for so long. That is why the voice of the secessionists are becoming higher every day. If the Southern governor has put their feet down long ago, when the issue of open grazing, Ruga, and all those stuff are on the first burner, we will not have a lot of voices clamoring for secession now. So the state governors have done well, though belated, but it's better late than never. And they must put their feet down and even test this their decision at the apex court of the land, so that at the end of the day, the president or the federal government will not continue to do things by fiat. Okay. So if we must have a country going forward, all the governors must protect their territory and must always be the voice of their people. The Southern governors will be commended, and they even help the president and the federal government. Because if we continue on that path, the uprising will continue, the secessionists will have their voice at the top of every agenda, and we may not have a country that we can call our own.
Okay, so I want to ask, yesterday, the Southern governors met at Abuja at the Hilton, and top of the agenda was, putting their feet down to ensure that the anti-grazing law sees the light of the day. Also on the agenda as well was the clamor for the emergence of a president of a Southern descent. So what do you make of that?
As much as I tried not to dabble into the among the politicians. Yes. The truth is, in fairness, the presidency should come to Southern region, and the Southerners should look at their own fairness too, and put it to where it should be. Because the reality of today is that a lot of secession agenda is coming up, and we cannot afford to collapse this nation. We may not be on the right direction, but we have a reason to always work for a united Nigeria. If we cannot work for a united Nigeria and we allow the Northerners to still be at the ends of our sphere beyond Buhari administration, we may continue to face the like of Nnamdi Kanu, the like of Sunday Adeyemi, and the many others who may want to cash in through our challenges. The challenges facing us today is that people are more political, and people are no longer see themselves as Nigerian. They are seeing themselves as their Igbo, Yoruba, Hausas, and that is not good for this country. The giant of Africa that they are calling us depends more on our on our unity. So Nigeria must continue to be united, and we must continue to be fair to all, regardless of where they are coming from. So, as far as the decision of the Southerners are concerned, it is fair enough because we enough.
Hello, Comr.
Okay. So now is the turn, though not constitutional, not written anywhere, but it should be for the sake of fairness and for the sake of unity of this country. The Southern should get the presidency.
Okay, so I'm going to ask again. Now, according to the Southern governors, among other reasons they gave for the decision which they took, they mentioned armed herders, criminals, and bandits having infiltrated the southern part of the country. Now, how will the ban on open grazing put an end to all of these issues?
You see, the criminal herders, the north or south, are hiding behind the open grazing system to carry arms and ammunition to infiltrate some other part of the country. The issue is not only about herders, but people have seen that the criminals are hiding behind grazing across the country to cause crisis and cause killings across the nation. So therefore, the issue is we must first stem the issue of criminality, and even in this 2021, and some people still believe that grazing across length and breadth of the country is the best. No, the world has moved on from that. And we can face another challenge after we've eradicated the issue of people hiding behind open grazing to create confusion across the country. The first thing is because people are saying it from Port Harcourt to Shogbo, from Shogbo to Abeokuta, that these criminal herders are the one causing trouble in their region. So therefore, people should stay where they are, have whatever they want to have in their region, and because even in the southwest, many cows belongs to people of the southern region. They are only being reared by the Fulanis, and the new Fulanis are not to have concern about attack on them. They are doing their legitimate business, but this business is affecting farming and all of that, and small villages, killings there, rape there, and these are the core issues that we must first address before we address others. I know criminals are everywhere in Yoruba land, as a matter of fact.
Okay, so Mr. Waheed, I want to ask this question. You spoke about
people
people,
the criminal herders,
Mr. Waheed,
to become another criminal in their own region too.
Okay.
In the name of
so you spoke about Nigerians remaining in their various regions and operating from within those regions. So I want to ask, don't you think that would hamper the unity and diversity among Nigerians at this time, especially when it is very important for Nigeria to unite amidst all of the security challenges as well as other challenges that the country is facing?
I didn't hear that question very well.
Okay, so you spoke earlier about Nigerians staying in their various regions and doing whatever it is, be it business or residing or whatever it is they do.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
The elders, there are elders in Yoruba land too. And they have been living here for years.
Okay.
They should do their legitimate business within the internationally acceptable practice.
Okay.
Not the archaic way of rearing animals.
Okay.
These are issues. We cannot continue to say we don't want to do this. We cannot do this because we are used to rearing animals this way.
Okay.
The federal government should give the enabling environment for them to actually develop their business.
Okay.
In a way that will not hamper others' rights to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the issue I'm raising. It's not that Hausas to stay in their region.
Okay.
No.
To
We have a country that,
as
a matter of fact, some Hausa men in Osogbo today, some Hausa men, they are not going to go back to their region for whatever reason.
Okay.
They have been established there, built businesses here, and they cannot just go do away with it in the name of want to have sanity.
Okay.
So, but the reality is we must do business in a way that will not hamper some other people's fundamental rights to live.
Okay, that's quite insightful, and it's good that you cleared the air on that. So I'm also going to ask, you know, other sectors of the community as well as outside are of the opinion that the stance by the Southern governors does not hold water, especially with the federal government saying, look, what you're doing is unconstitutional. So what's your take on that as well?
I didn't hear you. You said what?
Okay, so I said other sectors of the society are of the opinion that the stance by the Southern governors does not hold any water, so meaning it cannot work, you know, because of the federal government stance and, you know, statement that it's unconstitutional to domicile and anti-open grazing.
Yes. There are people that were against their decision.
Yes.
But the people of Southern region,
yes,
they are in support of their own governors.
Okay.
And the presidency must not take such support for granted. The reality is we must test all these decisions at the apex court of our land.
Okay.
Let the Supreme Court adjudicate. The Southern governors should be ready to take the federal government to court. Federal government must not see themselves as Lord of Manor to control the other region. And I ask, where is the land of the federal government? People should ask questions. So you cannot decide on what doesn't belong to you. There are a lot of anomalies with our system, and we cannot continue this way. If we must have a country that we will be proud of, we need to start doing things the right way.
Okay.
And that is why I commend the Southern governor for putting their feet down now before the system collapses on all of us.
Okay.
Talking about doing things the right way, do you think we should expect a response from the federal government anytime soon?
I want to believe that this is a process, and they have started somewhere. They have putting out their decision, and the federal government also come up with their own decision too. And we should test it with the state of our law in Nigeria. That is fair. If we cannot test it with the state of our law, I am assuring you that those who make peaceful change impossible will have to face the violence part of change. So we don't have strength to allow those violent minds to take over decision. We must allow the law to rule this country, and if the law says the Southern governor don't have right to say such, well, they should abide by it. But if, which I don't think so, the law speak on our morality too. What don't belong to you? Why should you adjudicate over it?
Okay.
So federal government have no local standing to even put open grazing. There is no open grazing in Southern region. The mouthpiece of their own people, and they have said the truth yesterday and will continue to pursue it to a logical end.
Okay, quite an insight, exciting and educating, you know, discussion with you, Comrade Waheed Saka, on the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, my brother and sister. I appreciate you, and may God bless this country.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you
so much. Yes, and that's it for the conversation this morning. Remember, the conversation comes to you every day on TOS TV Network, your digital-first Pan-African news network. And also remember, you could watch the conversation as well as other programs on our website at www.tostvnetwork.com, as well as on our YouTube page at TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as well, you could drop, comments and contributions on our various social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just please do drop your comments, and we'll do well to get back to you. As always, I am Sagir Ibrahim.
And my name is Ade Suelsi. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the show today.